In scientific terms, memory can be defined as the application of learning over time, or information that can be learned, stored, and then later retrieved. The process of memory occurs in 3 steps. Step 1, encoding. Step 2, storage. And step 3, retrieval. The process by which you remember is actually similar to that of a computer. The first step, encoding, is a process by which information is transformed so that it can be stored. In a computer, this can be transferring data into codes and integers, while in a human, this is transferring information into meaningful forms like images, sounds, or other existing memory. The second step in the memory process is the actual storage, or the process by which you hold on to information. In a computer, data is copied onto a hard drive, while for humans, data is actually stored. How exactly is it stored? Now, let's take a trip back in time.
The year is 1968. Psychologists Richard Cherfin and Richard Atkinson decide that they want to question how our memory is stored. While doing so, they eventually create the stage theory of memory model, a model that introduces the idea that there are 3 stages for how humans store memory. The first stage is sensory memory, the second stage, the short-term or working memory, and the third stage, the long-term memory. The first stage, the sensory memory, holds limited information for only brief intervals and receives information through our senses. Once our sensory memory is transformed into our consciousness or awareness, the second stage, short-term memory, takes over. Short-term memory holds information for no more than 30 seconds unless it is renewed. This information includes phone numbers, passwords, even remember that word, anaphylaxis? Unless you've constantly been repeating it in your head, maybe even without you knowing, then you would have forgotten it. Memories that have been repeated or are very significant are usually moved from your short-term to your long-term memory, which holds information for long periods of time. Sometimes it may even be permanently. There's 2 types of long-term memory, explicit and implicit. Implicit means that the memory has been done unconsciously, like brushing your teeth or driving a car. Explicit is memories from different events and situations in your life.
The final step in the memory process is retrieval. In a human, that would be remembering old information, while in a computer, that would be opening up old files. Now, with retrieval, there are also 3 parts. The first is recall, the second is recognize, and the third is relearn. If you think back to that test that you just took, when you do fill in the blank questions, that's when you try to recall information. Multiple choice questions is when you have to recognize which answer is right and wrong. And relearning is when you have to go back while you're studying to relearn a concept that you may have forgotten.